22 Hierophant priest. The high priesthood consisted of 22 priests, hierophants, fortune-tellers, in fact, a kind of planning department. 11 hierophants in Upper Egypt, 11 in Lower. Of these 11 priests, 1 priest was in charge. All 22 hierophants gathered at the rallies. 2 of them were the highest and made up a tandem. Each in tandem had 10 assistants. To control the whole of Egypt, wars were often organized between the lower and the upper. In these wars, they cleaned slaves from violent ones, took away crops, gold, and so on for the priestly community. This is something like our current crises. Everything has remained as it was, for more than 4,000 years. Egypt had an army and many slaves. The army must be paid. The slaves must be watched. Neighbors raided Egypt and took crops from the provinces. The Egyptian priests concentrated the army to defend the western borders from the Libyans. In the east, enemies could only come through the Sinai Peninsula and get into Upper Egypt. The priests collected part of their slaves, identified 11 different tribes in them, and the priests themselves became 12 tribes. It is referred to as the 12 tribes of Israel, and one of the most important tribes is the Levites, in which the priests hid. The symbol of the Levites is the lion. They took this herd of slaves into the desert and trained them there for 40 years. From their bodies, the priests cut off the soul, squeezing only the controller, and loaded the software into memory. These zombies are called Jews or Jews, which is exactly the same thing. With the help of this crowd of biorobots, the Levites cleared the entire Sinai Peninsula and the surrounding eastern environs from the enemies of Egypt. According to rumors, from the Bible and other sources, all these slaves were 2 million people, of which 600,000 were war men. The project was very successful. The exodus from Egypt was orchestrated by the priests as an escape and robbery. The whole history of the Jewish people was invented, and it only began with this escape. Circumcision is not a Jewish covenant with God, but an Egyptian custom for slaves. Cutting off a Jewish boy on his 8th birthday, the baby's roof comes off a little from pain and he turns into a biorobot, which is called cutting off the soul. It's the same with us. We have vaccinations, alcohol, pills, bleach, etc., a lot of that now. The word Jew and Jew are synonyms, and in most languages it is even the same word. Jew means one who has gone or gone over. In Yiddish, a Jew sounds like a Yehudim. 2 words depart from the word Yehudi, a Jew and a Jew in the pronunciation of different nations. The place where the Jews scattered was called Europe. From the word of the Jews originated the word Jid and the word people. A non-Jew is called a goy. You can treat him like a dog. A goy is not a man, that is, not a Jew. Hence the word outcast, that is, from the goyim. With the help of the Jews, the world behind the scenes, in the person of the Levite priests, arranged sabotage and penetration into the local elites of literally every state. They destroyed it, rewrote history, simplified the language, writing, destroyed science, what it was, and so on, bringing many states in a sense to a common denominator in order to establish the usual management platform. As a result, the state disintegrates and simplifies into a gear, which is then built into the global mechanism of world government. The Jews themselves, as invalids, do not understand what they are doing. All their missions, imputed by the world government through the rabbinate and Jewish teaching, are presented as prophecy and fulfillment of prophecy. Priests Hierophants. The huge pyramidal complex in Giza was, in fact, the structure of deep meditation that allowed a pharaoh or priest, being in a deep suggestive state, to get in touch with the noosphere, the information systems of the Earth. Today it is well known that people who come into contact with the noosphere or the information field very often see this eye. The eye, or all-seeing eye, as a symbol, was given to man from above and is not his invention. The eye was observed by both the pharaohs and the priests during certain phases of worship. That is why this symbol exists in many Hermetic law and religions. From the depths of the centuries, the outlines of phenomena appear, the secret of which time has kept for several millennia. And we begin to understand the hidden meaning of what has come down to us on